Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we're going to be talking about that episode of The Last of Us. This is episode 2, Through the Valley. This is, of course, from season 2. And this is the one that if you play the game, this is the one you had been waiting for. And if you've never played the games, this is the one that those gamers had been telling you was coming. Even if you did not get all the details. Before I get into spoilers, let's talk a little bit about the episode overall, like the quality of it. I think, especially if you watch the making of at the end, which I really love. They're like almost 10 minutes long, and they show you some great stuff. The idea of how this episode came together. This is such a grand episode. So just thinking about the production, everything you had to do, braving the elements because of course it's winter in Jackson, right? There's a storm in this episode and just everything that had to go into this, but also finding the right pieces, finding the right people. Caitlin Deaver has been added to the cast for season 2, and I think she's a great addition. We also see Danny Ramirez. He's part of he's part of a group who you may know from Falcon and the Winter or Captain America 4. He is the new Falcon. But this episode was full of a lot of really intense stuff, some big stunts. Like this episode is probably bigger than you ever imagined. One thing I want to do, and maybe I'll just make another video after that, is go back and watch uh the big scenes of this one in the game, like the gameplay of it. I know a lot of people do comparison videos. So I just want to experience the difference because although I knew what was happening, I've actually never played the game. This all comes via my brother who played and is a big fan of both of these games. And we would talk about it just because it was such a great, shocking kind of a twist and idea to do in a video game. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of really cool things that were put on the screen. A lot of very sad things as well. This one it punches you hard in the gut for sure. The emotional stakes are there, but I think everyone delivered on the performance. Uh, and then we close out the episode with the song of the same name of the episode, "Through the Valley," or a rendition of that song. But yeah, the scale of this one was a lot bigger than I would have ever imagined, and there's a big reason why they talk about it in the making of the episode. So if you haven't seen episode 2 of season 2 of The Last of Us, make sure to go check it out because we are gonna get into spoilers. So let's talk about it. We begin with Abby having some kind of dream slash flashback because it's showing us a little bit of how she eventually would find her dad, and everything that the motivation for her trying to kill Joel. But also it shows us that she's still struggling with it herself, right? We see a younger version of her, and you can tell because her braids are a little smaller. She hasn't really changed much since in the 5 years since. And then you see Caitlin Deaver, like the look that we know from her now today. So after that, Abby's group is trying to figure out how do they get Joel. They realize that Jackson is a larger community than they anticipated. They were expecting to see just like tents and very low security, but of course, as we know, Jackson up until the last night's episode is like a really well built community. Like it's a city. It's got a lot of security, a lot of protection. We see that multiple patrols are out. Joel's out with Dina. Jesse goes out with Ellie. But there was a storm coming, and it catches everyone kind of by surprise. They also have established that there are many infected trapped under the snow, and I think one of the things that I really like about the infected themselves is that they've explained that this is all one fun guy, right? It's all connected. It's a network. It's a sentient network of these beings, really. So, because we see them in this episode, we see them pivot a few times. So it's a smarter organism than just like like a zombie horde or any any of the other kind of zombie infected that you may see in other ones. This one has a purpose, and as we saw at the end of the last episode, the fungus has been spreading through those pipes that they're trying to replace. So now it also knows about the town. It knows that its mission being to expand onto more people and bring them. That's really its full mission, right? To bring more people into the fold so that they can also get more resources and this fungi continue to expand. Um, then we see that after this had been set up, Abby goes out on patrol on her own to try to figure out how can they get into Jackson. The group was ready to give up, other than Abby. Really, they do make a point of that. They're saying like Abby, their plan was going to be to just have Abby give up and convince her to go back to Seattle with the rest of their army. Um, but she falls into one of those pits with the infected, and men, oh men, as the scenes where they just kind of come out of the snow and start, like they mentioned that they're using their own dead as insulation. So like, because obviously I don't know if fungi are resistant to the cold, or maybe they just hibernate. But yeah, it's really cool as they kind of come back to life and they start digging themselves out of the snow, and then you realize that she's gonna be overrun by so many of them. um, in the meanwhile, Joel and Dina are trying to get back to the town. They realize they're not going to make it. Also, Jesse and Ellie realize they're not going to make it back to the town, so they hide out at like a 7-Eleven, where we do learn that Eugene, who's Catherine, who's Gail's husband, that Joel had to put down, was a firefly, but he stopped being a firefly. So I don't think there's a connection there, and I don't think that's why Joel would have killed him. I feel like they made it feel like Joel killed Eugene because he was about to turn. Well, I'm sure we'll get into that. I don't think we are done with the character of Joel even after the events of this episode. Ellie and Jesse go looking for Joel and Dina around the mines. In the meanwhile, we see that uh, Joel and Dina and Abby. Joel saves Abby in this really cool sequence where she's trapped behind under the fence, and all these infected are trying to get her. It's really well done. It looks very practical, and I love. They talk about the makeup for the infected this season. They wanted it to be like, how would these things have evolved, but also how are they adapting to this cold weather. So they look a little bit different. But yeah, they chase Abby into this fence. She's able to get away. Joel helps her, and then Dina, and Abby um, realize that they have to go back. They don't have enough time to go. They won't make it to Jackson before the horde. But Abby tells them, like, she's got the lodge. Her friends are there. They can help. Obviously, at this point, nobody knows that anybody's out to kill anyone, other than when Abby has put together that this is probably the Joel she was looking for. So as the horde heads to Jackson, there is this gigantic melee. So now our attention, our emotions are split up into two, where there's an attack on the city of this gigantic horde, including a big bloater. And then we know that also Joel is walking right into an ambush. I stopped writing notes when Joel and Dina got to the lodge with Abby. I stopped writing notes because they immediately turn on them, and they start talking about everything that happened. But first, and let me talk about what happened in Jackson, and we'll come back to finish off the episode or this video with what happens to Joel and Ellie and Abby. Uh, the horde attacking the city of Jackson is just a really cool sequence. They have everything prepared. They have plans in place. They have people go to the basement if they're elderly or too young. They have any able-bodied individuals that can help out with security and to take out these people or take out the infected. They have them ready with weapons and everything. But even all those big plans, there's still no match for the number of infected that are running through the city. We do get to see another bloater, which is really cool. Like I wish I knew how those bloaters kind of come together. I don't remember them talking about it, and maybe we'll never truly know. I don't know if it's explained in the game how they come together. Obviously, it's a video game mechanic because you want to have bigger and bigger things to try to kill. But yeah, they look pretty gnarly, and we end up seeing Tommy take it out with a flamethrower, which was really really cool. But yeah, it's a massacre in the town. Like there's so many people that are dead. Luckily, our main characters, Tommy and Maria, we see they look like they haven't been hurt. Um, so then we move on, right? So the town, even though it's a disaster area right now, they're able to at least stop the horde from destroying everything. But they've definitely taken a lot of casualties. I'm sure we'll see the fallout of that. Maybe next episode. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Maybe next episode will be a flashback. I don't think so. I think we in the preview. I think we saw that there was a lot of kind of post fallout from this, but we will definitely get a flashback at some point, and I think it's gonna be about Joel and Eugene and what happened there, or maybe kind of fills in on the 5 year gap. But anyways, now we go back to the lodge where we like what's coming. Like, and even though I knew what's coming, that never took away from the intensity of what was going on. Caitlin Dever, I think, delivers a great performance as Abby, just really intense, very, very like business about what she was about to do and what she had to do. She shoots Joel in the leg to keep him like there. They drug Dina so she's passed out because they promise not to hurt anyone other than Joel, right? They talk a little bit about this code they live by in this army, that they don't take out on people that are unable to defend themselves, but Joel's the exception to this. So yeah, the thing that we all thought was going to happen happens. Uh, Joel is confirmed to be the person that killed all those fireflies back in Utah, and of course, Abby now starts just she gets the golf club and like in the game, which like I said, I haven't watched the full scene. I've only seen like highlights of it. Like she just starts beating him up. It just we cut back to a bloody Joel later on as Ellie gets to the lodge, and now even though she manages to enter and hurt one of the guys, um, she's being held down, and Joel's taken out with a golf club, like the broken golf club. Abby stabs him in the head, and he's done. And Ellie has to witness all that. And it was Bella Ramsey, also fantastic performance, just so intense. And the group leaves, and then we just have Ellie and Joel dead, and Dina passed out. Uh, and we get this really beautiful shot of Ellie holding Joel, but from above, and this crane shot, like it was moving up. Just I don't, and then the song was playing at the same time. Yeah, it was just really, really well put together, very emotional. We do see before the episode's over, Jesse gets to the find I guess finds the lodge, and is able to get Dina and Ellie and back to the town, and they are also taking back Joel's body. But yeah, man, what an episode! Holy crap! I didn't realize I wasn't sure if they were gonna go for it right away or if they want to expand the story out a little bit more. I think this is the better route because we can always come back to Joe in flashbacks if there's anything else we need to kind of clear up. But the mission is now firm. Ellie is gonna now look for revenge because now she's in the same place that Abby was, right? She's gonna chase down her dad's killer because that's who Joel was to her. And she even mentions that earlier in the episode, like no matter what problems they have or have had, um, it's Ellie and Joel. It's always gonna be Ellie and Joel, and and Ellie talks about that to Jesse earlier in the episode. So yeah, it's gonna get very intense. I can't wait. So let me know if you were a gamer. What did you think of the bringing this to live action? And then if you've never seen the games, if you've never played the games, if you did not know anything about what was going to happen, what did you think of this hour of television? As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.